Hello there and welcome to the 7th chapter of my C tutorial, that is function. Now before we get into the function, let us take an example of a machine which works on certain functions which is already installed in that machine. Now suppose the machine is the main program and the function which is installed in that machine is the function which will be installing into the main program. Now how we can install a function into a main program? To do so, let us first open this Turbo C++. It's opening. Okay, so it has opened. Now new. Before I start a program, let me tell you that functions are generally used in a program only to shorten that program, to make that program shorter than usual. Functions are of two types. One is call by value, another is call by reference. At first we will be doing call by value functions. In other ways, functions are of also two types, that is return type and non-return type. Till date we have used void main, the main function. We have used void, which is actually a non-return type function. That is, it will print. It can print, but it can never return any value. Other functions other than void functions are all return types. That is, they can return values if they want. Now let us check with call by value function. For this, let us call the header files first as usual. Include conio.h, then hash include stdio.h. Then now we are going to initialize a function. The name of the function is add. In this program we are going to do, what we are going to do is we will be adding two numbers, and that add function will be given into the function add. The work of that function will be to add two numbers. So int add int comma int. Now what is this? We are initializing the function and name of the function is and. It's a return type integer, and the parameters used inside this function are also integer, and there are two parameters which we will be using. And remember the return type of the function, if the return type of the function is integer, then the data type of the parameter should always be integer. That is, what the return type will be, the same will be the data type of the parameters. That is, if the return type is integer, the data type of the parameters can never be float or double or anything. It should be integer. Now we have initialized the function. Now void main. Over here the main function will start, but we will not be giving the main function right now. So CLR SCA will just keep these two lines inside the main function. Get ch, close of the main function. Now we will begin with the add function. Int add int x comma int y. What will be the work of this function? It will add two numbers. So return x plus y. It will return the result of x plus y, and where it will return? It will return the result of x plus y to this main function. Now getting into the main function, let us first initialize a, b and c as integer. Then we will ask the user to enter two numbers. So we have asked the user to enter two numbers. Now the scanf part, %d %d. comma and A comma and B. Okay, so the user input part is done. Now we will be printing the addition result. How we can do that? C equal to add of A comma B. Now what is happening in this line, I will explain to you, but at first let us get the output and then we will get into the explanation part. Now let us print the result of C, the value of C. Printf result %d comma C. Now let us check if there is any kind of error or not. No errors. It has asked us to enter two numbers, so 27 and 53. Let us see. Yeah, it has given us the correct result as 80. Now what actually is happening over here? At first we have initialized the function add as with the return type of integer, and we have used two parameters, both of which are integers. Then inside that add function we have given the work of that function, which will be adding the values of x and y. The parameters used in this add function are x and y, both of which are integer type. The return type is also integer of the function, and we are returning the result of the addition result of x and y to the main function. Now inside the main function we have initialized a, b and c as integer. Then we have asked the user to enter two numbers and did the user input part for both a and b using scanf. Then in the next line we have called the add function with the values of a and b. The values of a and b. This means we have called the function add. Okay, and the values of a and the values of b are directed to x and y. This means the value of a is directed to x and the value of b is directed to y. This means we have given 23 and 57. Suppose a we have given 23 and b is 57. That is, a is 23, so 23 is directing to x. So it is, this x is now 23. And b is 57, it is directing to y, that is y is 57. So over here return x plus y, this means return 23 plus 57, the result is 80. This result 80 is stored in C, and after this line we are printing the value of C as the result, and then ending of the main program with getch and the result, and the program is over. So this is how the call by value works. I hope you have understood the main functionality of the call by value function. Now let us get into call by reference by swapping two numbers. Now how can we swap two numbers using call by reference? Let us do one thing. Let us change the name of the function, and one thing more I want to add to it is that over here we have given the add function after the main function. If you want, you can also give the add function before the main function. It is all of your own choices. If you want, you can put add function before the main function, or you can put it after the main function. Now let us swap two numbers using call by reference. Now how it will happen? Int swap. The name of the function I am giving is swap. Int star x comma int star y. Remember, in call by reference we use pointers. We don't use normal variables. We use pointers in call by reference. Now we are taking another variable as temp. So now temp is equal to star x, then star x is equal to star y, then star y is equal to temp. Here we are not giving any return values or we are not printing anything. We are just swapping the values. Now we are taking two variables a and b. Now what we are doing is we will be asking the user to enter two numbers. So printf enter two numbers \n. So scanf %d %d entering two numbers a and b as user input. Now let us print the two numbers before swapping. So printf before swapping what was the result? \n %d \d %d comma a comma b. So here we are printing the numbers before swapping. Before swapping what happened? Now after swapping what will happen? Printf after swapping. So after swapping what is going to happen? We are calling the function over here swap and a comma and b. Now what is actually happening here? Let us first check the result and then I will be explaining the same to you. After this printf %d \t %d a comma b. Now let us check if there is any kind of error. No error, so enter two numbers 23 and 56. Let us give a new line after this \n. Now it will be clear. 23 and 56. Before swapping the numbers are 23 and 56 and after swapping it is become 56 and 23. So what is actually happening over here? What we have done? At first we have given the main word for the function swap. The name of the function is swap, whose return type is integer, and the parameters are star x and star y, which are actually the pointers, pointer x and pointer y, both of which are integers. Okay, then inside the function what we have done is we have taken temp variable as integer, the variable temp as integer. Then inside temp what we have done is we have stored the value which was previously stored in the address x and we have stored it in temp. Then we have stored the value which was in address y in address x. Then we have stored the value of temp in address y. Then we have finished the function without returning or printing any value. So over here we have done this and then we have started the main function. Now inside the main function what we have done is we have initialized a and b as integer. Then we have asked the user to input two numbers a and b through user input scanf. Then we have printed the two numbers which were before swapping. Before swapping what happened? We have just printed those two numbers And after swapping, what happened? We just after printing this line, yes, after swapping, we have called the function swap. This function swap is called over here in this line. In this line, what is actually happening is the values of a and b are getting swapped through this function. Actually, what is happening is the value of a is stored in AND A. AND A is the address of the value of A. The address of the value of A where it is stored is stored in the address of A, and the value of B is stored in the address of B. So we have used AND A and B. AND A and B. AND A is directing to the address X, and AND B is directing to the pointer Y. Pointer X and pointer Y. Pointer X is actually the address of A, and pointer Y is actually the address of B. So using that, it is accessing the values of A and B. Okay, because the value of A is stored in AND A and the value of B is stored in AND B. AND A is the address of value A, and B is the address of value B. Then after swapping, we are printing the values of A and B after swapping, after the function is called. So this is how the call by reference works. I hope you have understood. After going through this video, I think you have understood the main functionality of the call by value and call by reference function, and you have also understood what is function. So this is all for now, but stay tuned for the next video in which we will be doing the recursive function, where we will be printing the factorial of a number. So thank you for now and have a great day.